I love that man, Robbie Robertson. Go see his show. He has a great podcast also. One of the most talented, I mean super talented musicians on the planet. If you've ever watched his podcast, he has a young lady that he works with, and he does all this recording in his studio. When you watch him play that keyboard, it's almost I've seen it with Frankie, but when he does it on his show, he has the freedom to go all different ways. Robbie Robertson, if you're watching, there's only one of you. Never to be another. You're incredible.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jammin' Java. We are coming to you live from RR Studios, Nashville, Tennessee. Here we go. Hey everybody, how's it going out there? And I am indeed, as I mentioned earlier, I'm coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. And it's good to be back in the groove. Let's see. And thank you, everybody, for the wonderful, gracious comments and condolences and everything about, of course, I lost my mom 2 weeks ago. And, or whatever it was, been. Yeah, it's about 2 weeks ago now. And we were on the show, and my birthday was August the 13th, as many of you probably know. And we played on August 12th up in Rockford, Illinois with Frankie. I came to Nashville and got the word that Mom had passed away. And it's a blessing to know where she is. And I'm blessed to have had her, this amazing lady, as my mother for so long. She was 93 when she passed away. And I'm just so thankful to have had her as a mom. So I'll be talking about Mama here, and there, and that's her, not that side over here. So we are going to rock and roll tonight, and we're going to have some fun. Let's see who's good to see. Bob Sneed, my buddy from Litchfield, is in the house. Saw Bob at the funeral. Thank you, Bob, for coming by. And Debbie Warner from California. My buddy from El Paso, Rick Kern. Hello, Rick. How are you, my friend? George, Music for All Seasons, one of our 4 Seasons experts in the house. So we played last night. We played this weekend, and we'll be talking about the tour. We played last night in Lexington, Kentucky. And then my daughter and some of my grandkids all came out to the show, and after the show, well, we stayed there last night in Lexington, and then we drove over here to Nashville today. And then tomorrow night I head back to California. So rock and roll. Who else? Senior B in the house. Thank you so much, Senior B. And again, I appreciate everybody's wonderful, heartfelt condolences. My buddy Steve Zemko, good to see you. I saw Steve at 1 or 2 of those shows. I know, and it's so cool. Thank you, Bert Lansden. It's good to be back in the saddle here. Thank you so much, George and Bert, of course. Jennifer Green from Clare, Michigan. Michael, my buddy, Michael Crosby. Yes, thank you so much, Michael. It's very much appreciated. We are going to rock this house tonight, and I think what we'll do is we'll start with, we start with a word of prayer. Now, Pastor Chuck is under the weather tonight, and so we are going to have our pinch hitter. Yeah, he's a pretty capable pinch hitter, and that, of course, is the senior pastor at Trinity Lutheran Church, Simi Valley, California, and that is Pastor Robert Lyon Barker, who's going to lead us in prayer tonight. And here we go.
Thanks, Robbie. Hi, everyone. So, as is my custom when I pinch hit for Chuck to be able to share with you a devotion before Jammin' Java and a prayer, I always ask Robbie what his theme for the night might be, so that I could focus my thoughts on something that might be pertinent and topical to what he's doing. And so when I reached out to him today and I asked him what his theme was for the tonight. He said, he texted me back and said, it's about getting back into the groove. And I said, well, that's certainly biblical. And so as I think about Jam and Java getting back into the groove this week, since the last 2 weeks Robbie has had off, I think about the struggles that Robbie has been through, he and his family, and losing his dear mother, Barbara, and why Jam and Java hasn't been here for the last 2 weeks. And all of us go through these ups and downs and trials and tribulations, and there comes a time when, after we've mourned and after we've remembered, and as we get through our lives, we too need to get back into the groove. And so it made me think about a passage from 2 Corinthians, St. Paul writing to the church in Corinth, 2 Corinthians 4, verses 16 to 18. And so let me share that with you tonight, and then my devotion. So Paul writes to the Corinthians in chapter 4, verse 16. So we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light, momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal. Our life, all of our lives, is a journey filled with various seasons, each bringing its own set of challenges and triumphs. As we, all of us, navigate through the twists and turns, there are moments when we might feel weary or disheartened or overwhelmed by the weight of responsibilities and trials. It's during these times that the words of the Apostle Paul can offer us a source of comfort, hope, and hopefully, prayerfully, a renewed perspective. St. Paul reminds us that despite the hardships we encounter on the outside, our inner being is constantly being renewed daily. Our physical bodies might show signs of wear and tear, but our spirit can find its strength replenished through our faith in Jesus Christ. This renewal is not a one-time event, but a continual process, a reminder that God's grace sustains us through every single circumstance of our lives. The apostle also speaks of the trials we face as light and momentary troubles. It might seem paradoxical to describe our difficulties in such a way, especially when they feel heavy and lasting. However, Paul's insight comes from the understanding that these challenges are fleeting when compared to the eternal glory that God is working within us. The struggles we encounter in this life pale in comparison to the magnificent future that awaits us in God's presence. Paul encourages us to shift our focus from the visible, temporary aspects of our lives to the unseen, eternal truth. This shift in perspective enables us to endure with greater resilience. When we fix our eyes on God's promises and the ultimate goal of eternity with Him, our present struggles take on a different meaning. We begin to see them as opportunities for growth, for refinement, and an opportunity to draw closer to our Savior. Just take a moment to reflect on how you've been approaching your own responsibilities and challenges. Have you been allowing them to overwhelm you, causing you to lose sight of the bigger picture? Or have you been intentionally fixing your eyes on the eternal truth that God is using all of your experiences, the good and the bad, to mold you into vessels for His glory? As we embrace the message of 2 Corinthians 4 tonight, let's remember that our journey through life is not meant to be walked alone. God's presence and God's grace empower us to persevere through difficulties and to find joy in the midst of our responsibilities. May we, all of us, find comfort in the truth that even as we navigate the ups and downs of our life, our spirits are being renewed day by day, and the eternal glory that awaits each of us far outweighs any temporary struggles. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the reminder that our challenges and responsibilities are temporary when compared to the eternal glory you have prepared for us. Help us to fix our eyes on what is unseen, trusting that you are constantly renewing our spirits. spirits. Give us the strength to persevere, to embrace each day with hope, and to approach all our responsibilities with a renewed perspective. Lord, help each of us to get back into the groove. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you all. Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you, Pastor. And I think we'll lead off song-wise tonight with a song which is actually the latest release, I should say, on Robbie's records, and it's a song that I wrote called "His Words." That it's sung by the extraordinary Andrea Hammond, and it's the antidote to so many of our issues. If you want to have peace in this world, all we have to do is lean on the Lord, and the Lord is right there in His words. He wrote the book for us, 66 books, in fact, that give us peace, comfort, and the answer to all of our issues in this world. And so I think we'll lead off with that. This is called His Words again. Well, here it is, Andrea Hammond.
His words bring peace. His words bring hope. His words bring pardon in His love. Whose words? His words. God's word made flesh. Listen to the words of Jesus. Words that speak His love. Words that speak His saving grace. Lord becomes Lamb, Christ on the cross. Sin and death no longer have a hold on us. Come to Him with your sin. Your Lord brings pardon from your shame. Whose words? His words. God's word for all. Listen to the words of Jesus. God's word, oh so true. Gospel words to make us new. of the Son of Man. His words bring peace. His words bring hope. His words bring pardon in His love. Whose words, His words, God's words so true, gospel words to make us new. Gospel words to make us new.
All right, his words. You know, God speaks to us in so many different ways. He speaks it to us in his great creation. He speaks to us in that still small voice. But one of the main ways that he really speaks to us is in the word, in his words, in the Bible, the books of the Bible, because these are God's words to his people. Local recording has stopped because you are out of disk space on the Macintosh hard drive. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I just had an issue here. I hope there's not an issue with if it's still working. Oh, it looks like we're still going. All right. Let me know if this stops, by the way, and how you're going to let me know. Let me know that we're still going. So, as I mentioned earlier, so we went on tour, and this past weekend, and we started off this tour in New Orleans, and it's always fun to go to New Orleans, NOLA. And let's see here. So Frankie goes to NOLA. Frankie goes to New Orleans. We were, I just have to keep checking because I just got this alert on my computer. And it looks like we're still on, so that's a good thing. So Frankie goes to NOLA, and there's Bourbon Street. Of course, we got there Thursday evening, and we were right downtown. We played at the what was the name of that theater? The Sanger Theater in New Orleans, which is right there next to Bourbon Street. It's a beautiful old theater that's over 100 years old. And, oh, thanks, Jennifer. I see, yeah, we're still on. Anna Saminamu in the house. Hello, Anna. Hello, KP Lynn. Love the Fats Domino statue. Yeah, that was, so we had a good time. And, of course, we had an evening there. So I had to go over to Bourbon Street and get some Cajun food, some Creole food. And I went to Armand's restaurant there and had a wonderful meal. It's hard to get a bad meal in New Orleans. So there's Bourbon Street. Well, hold it. That's not. What the heck? Let's go back over here. We want this. There we go. And there's Bourbon Street heading over to the restaurant. And there's our truck driver, Dan. We were at the Sanger Theater, as I mentioned. And Dan drives this semi-truck with all of our gear all over the country, wherever we go. And actually, I had a very interesting. Here, I'm going to let Dan tell you about what he does with us. Check this video out. So when we do these trips between cities tonight, how far do you have to go?
About 400 miles.
And you plan of what? 50 miles an hour, kind of?
50 mile an hour average. You know, when I plan a trip, I mean, obviously you drive faster than that, but by the time you stop for fuel and coffee and whatnot, it's going to take 8 hours to go 400 miles.
Now, you normally drive after the show and then all night, so if the gear's there in the next morning, right?
Yeah, we're loaded by midnight, and, you know, load ends at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, so we'll make that easy.
And that truck's packed, right?
Full.
Full.
Yeah. 52.
And this is a big old truck, too. Well, here, I'll show them the back here.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Dan.
All righty.
So this is the truck. This is Dan's truck, and then he drives all the gear. And like he said, this is packed. This is behind the theater here in Sanger Theater in New Orleans, and it is hot and muggy here. There's the truck. Pretty empty now, but tonight it will be jam-packed with all the gear. As a matter of fact, let's walk into the back of the theater here. This is kind of cool. Here's backstage, actually. Oh, the air conditioner feels good because it is super hot here. Here is the Sanger Theater. Well, so that was the gorgeous Sanger Theater that we played. That was, what night was that? Friday night. Yeah, Friday in New Orleans, Saturday in Memphis, Sunday in Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah, behind the scenes, and we've played that theater many times, the Sanger Theater in New Orleans. Well, let me go back over here to these pictures. So there's Dan, our truck driver, and let's see what else we got here. Well, there's the Sanger Theater. Again, it's over 100 years old, all restored, remodeled. We tend to play in a lot of these old, restored theaters that cities and pour millions of dollars into, and they're really great to play. And there's the Sanger Marquee. Frankie Bluey was the next night. Leanne Morgan. And that's out in front of the Sanger Theater, and that is not my car. Somebody had asked me that earlier. And it's some old vintage car that they had parked right in the front, and it was really kind of a cool thing. Let me show you. I also took a little. Well, before I do that, let's play some music. Let's play some Frankie Valli music. I was trying to find some stuff to play for tonight, and this is us from that Mohegan Sun from the PBS special we did.
Are you ready for this next song? I said, are you ready? Swear to God, there's no one else on earth I'd rather be. Swear to God, you made me see, so I believe in me. Oh, you've been filling my cup till I'm running over with joy. cross my heart and hope to die. I do. Just call me a one-woman lover. I can't even look at another, and I'm swearing to God, so glad I'm living. I'm swearing to God, for He's given me. Swear to God, so glad He's given me you. So glad He's given me you. Look what He's given me, more than the world can see. He's given me. He's given me. Look what He's given me. Oh, He's given me. He's given me you. Yeah. Thank you so much. My goodness, are you a good audience?
Yeah. Okay, so that was, yeah. You know, Frankie is 89 years old. It's just amazing to me, that he's out there and can still do it and still rocks. And again, we just did 3 cities in 3 days. It's just kind of crazy. Bobby Valley has said that that's his favorite song. Yeah, Bobby Valley is Frankie's brother, of course. And that's one of Frankie's favorite songs, too, is Swearing to God. And it gives all the band a chance to stretch out. Thanks, Jennifer, for that comment. And Frankie always comes in on time. I mean, he's. Oh, thank you, Senior B. You know, a lot of people ask me about that breath controller that I use, and that is a Yamaha breath controller that controls the timbre and the articulations of the keyboard. I play the notes on the keyboard, and I play the breath controller. And if you go to the Litchfield Museum and Route 66 Welcome Center, you'll see one of my guitars in there that I used to use with that thing. Thanks, Anna. And speaking of the Route 66 Welcome Center and Route 66, the Litchfield Museum and Route 66 Welcome Center, we are getting ready in October for a little tour. Sarah Nimitz and I and this amazing band that we've got put together for this concert tour. And Debbie Warner says, can't wait to see October. So in October, what's happening is by the way, we don't have any more Frankie concerts until the beginning of October. We have this scheduled month that we were going to take to we're going to go in the studio, do some recording, do some revamping of the show. We're going to play around with maybe adding some new songs for October, revamping some stuff, and Frankie and I are going to be working on music. So that's going to be kind of cool. Then the beginning of October, we have some East Coast dates. I can't remember where they are. I think New Jersey, Wilkes-Barre, Connecticut, I think. So that's going to be fun. But then, after we do the first week, and then we're going to have a week off with Frankie, we go back to Vegas and then Thousand Oaks, California. So for all you California people, we're going to be Thousand Oaks. I don't know the date, but it is the 3rd week, I think. But the 2nd week, that's what I want to get to. Sarah Nimitz and I are going to go out and do, and this is so cool that we've got this kind of put together. Now, where did I put it? Here it is, the Get Your Kicks tour, and we're going to start the tour off. Well, by the way, this is the band. You see, Vince Martell from Vanilla Fudge is going to be our guitar player, and he's going to sing some Vanilla Fudge songs. Travis Clower from Jersey Boys is going to be come and sing some Frankie songs and some other things. And actually, we're getting ready to record a couple songs with this band, which is going to be super cool, and hopefully have them finished by October. And Sarah and I, a musical trip down Route 66. And well, that's not the first date. That's the third date. Let me go to the first date. We're going to kick this off at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles, Illinois, Tuesday, October the 17th. And I don't think tickets have gone on sale, but they should go on sale, I think, this week or next week at the latest. And then we go to on the Wednesday night, October 18th. We're going to be in Bloomington at the Miles of Possibility Conference. We'll talk about that more when Sherry Eicher Jack comes on the show. But then we're going to the Wildly Theater. Now, the Wildly Theater tickets are on sale, and I think they're $30 and $35. It's a small venue, though. It only holds 325 seats, and I know that over half of the seats are already sold. So I would encourage you, if you're anywhere in the neighborhood, Edwardsville, Illinois, Thursday, October the 19th, go get tickets now because they are available, and that is going to be such a cool. That's going to be such a cool show, and it's going to be so much fun to be back in Edwardsville, my old stomping grounds, which is only 35 minutes from Litchfield, by the way. So get your kicks. As a matter of fact, maybe this is a good time to. Let's see if I've got to get your kicks. Let's see what we have here. Bear with me here. I'm looking at. It's kind of loosey-goosey here tonight. Well, I've got this. Well, let's play. Let's play the video. Get your kicks on Route 66.
If you ever plan to motor west, jump my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Litchfield to LA, more than 2,000 miles along the way. Oh, get your kicks on Route 66. And now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. And I'm in the mood for travel, so I wanna go to Litchfield. Let's go, come on, ride big
All right. So that's where you get your kicks on Route 66, and you get your tickets at the Wildly Theater in Edwardsville, Illinois. Here, where is that? There we go. October the 19th. We're working on a date for the Friday, and we've got a thing that looks very promising, and I'll keep you posted. Hopefully by next week we'll be able to tell you where the Friday date. So we're going to be playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Illinois, and Get Your Kicks Tour 23. And it's kind of cool to kind of put this whole tour together. WildlyTheater.com if you're in the area. Get the tickets while you still can because they're going fast. Like I said, more than half of the tickets are already sold. Come on, where is this thing here? This button. So that's the kind of... when does Robbie's Records get back on their release schedule? Good question, Senior B. If everything goes according to Hoyle, that we are going to, next Monday, we're going to release the next song on Robbie's Records, and that is going to be our version, Sarah and my version of Knock 3 Times on the Ceiling If You Want Me. It's the old Tony Orlando hit, and we did our own version of it with Richie Gajate Garcia, and I'm really looking forward to that. And very cool, Sherry. And Pete Lausches is going to be at Edwardsville. Sherry's going to be. I've already talked to a bunch of Litchfield people who are going to be there. It's going to be so much fun to get this tour on the road. And so that's what I'm doing in the middle of October. And then the next weekend we go to Vegas with Frankie. So let's get back to Frankie tour stuff. Yeah, Knock 3 Times. And I've got to get a hold of Tony because I want him to help us do some promotion. Tony Orlando, who I'm sure he will, because and Larry, and the writer of that, Larry Brown, who lives here in Nashville, is my buddy too, and we'll get him to kind of do some promotion stuff. Let's see what we have here. Let's go back to New Orleans. So there we go. That was in front of the Sanger Theater. That's a tour bus, and then. There's Frankie and I on the plane. You can see we're immersed in musical conversation there. So when we got done with New Orleans, we headed to Memphis, Tennessee. And I think maybe now is the time to play another. I'll play a quick thing from last night in Lexington, but this is on the tour this weekend with Frankie. All right. So that's a short and sweet clip of us doing begging. That was last night, amazingly enough. So we got on the plane after we played New Orleans. We stayed in New Orleans on Friday night. Saturday morning, we jumped and flew over to Memphis, Tennessee. And in the afternoon, we got in there about 1 o'clock, something like that. And got invited over to Sun Records. Now, if you know Sun Records, that is the Sam Phillips had Sun Records Studios, and that's where Elvis was discovered. He walked in there in 1953 and sang some songs for Sam Phillips, and they were playing, and Sam was not digging it that much, and then they took a break, and Elvis went in and did and started doing one of his songs, and Sam said, "Hold it, that's great. What are you doing there? And they recorded that, and I think it was Don't Be Cruel. No. I forget the name. One of Elvis's first songs, but one of you guys might know what it is. But this is, and there's Sam Phillips and Elvis, and I'm sitting there at the Hammond organ that they have there. Of course, I'm sitting there. And there I am. That is the $1 Million Quartet, Anna Samanamlu, you know that. And there was, of course, a play written about that. And that, the $1 Million Quartet, all came out of Sun Records. That is Jerry Lee Lewis, and I'm playing Jerry Lee Lewis's piano there in Sun Records. Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis on the left, Carl Perkins in the middle, that's Johnny Cash, and then, of course, that's Elvis sitting at the piano. Yeah, Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis. No, it wasn't Hound Dog. I don't remember which song it was. Somebody must know which, the very first hit. And they recorded that in 1953. And by the way, let's put this in context. That's All Right, Mama. You may be right, Dominic. I think you're correct. Yeah, that's not a bad group. And it was kind of it was amazing to be sitting there at that piano, too. And the people at Sun Records were really gracious to us. They gave us a private tour of the whole place, and it was super cool. Here's some more. Well, there I am at that piano again. Yeah, that is the classic picture. Now, there is a musical, a play that went to Broadway called The $1 Million Quartet that was about those four guys. Now, there's the bass that, what was his name? Bill Black played. And on those early records. If you see in the back, there's our bass player back there, and that Hammond organ. That's a microphone. That microphone is the same microphone that Elvis used, that all those guys used, and Sam Phillips kept that microphone in the studio and designated that it was not to be put in glass or anything, so people could actually touch and see that microphone. It's a Shure 55 microphone. That is the mic. But again, I'm going to put this in context. Frankie Valli, 1953, made his first record called My Mother's Eyes. Same year that Elvis walked into Sun Records. So there I am. There's Beale Street in Memphis, home of the blues, by the way. B.B. King's Blues Club. Of course, everybody knows that B.B. King is from Memphis, too. Yeah, Elvis recorded My Happiness on July 18th, but there was another one that was his big hit, and I think That's All Right, Mama, I think it was that old, it was an old blues tune. There's home of the blues, Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee. There's the Orpheum Theater that we played in. There's the empty stage of the Orpheum. I thought it was interesting to see, this was after the show was over, I thought, that's really cool to see. And they have these amazing crews that empty that stage. And there I am right before. By the way, let's go back. I did a pretty cool walk around. We're going to go back to New Orleans for a minute. This is the Sanger Theater walkabout, and you'll see kind of what the theater is all about. And this is kind of eye-opening.
Here is the Sanger Theater. This is a great theater. Old theater. It's been around for a long time. I'm not sure how old. We've played here together. We've played here before. It's going to be sold out tonight, jam-packed. It's one of these old refurbished theaters. And here's our stage setup. Horns over here. Rick Keller right there. My keyboard's right here, center stage with the Hammond organ, of course. That's the main thing. Drums, bass, 2 guitars. There's the monitor mixer stands over here. Right here's the monitor rig. And there's the theater. And tonight we are going to rock New Orleans. Tonight we are going to rock the Saenger Theater in New Orleans, Frankie Valli, and the Four Seasons on the road.
All right. There we were on the road. And you know what? And one of the things that I think about a lot too, I've said this so often, but not to be redundant. By the way, before I say that thought, Larry LaFada, that is the song. That's All Right, Mama, because he was fooling around with that song, and then they put it out, and the next day it went on the radio, and some guy played it 10 times or some kind of crazy thing, and the rest was history. Elvis was born. But my mom, I've said this so much, she is the one who was really the motivating force for me and my music, pointed me to music, opened my eyes to music, supported me through so many things. And so when I'm playing, I'm, especially this past weekend, thinking a lot about Mama. And I have some great memories and great pictures here. I thought I would share a little bit of my mom. There's Mom and I a few years ago. Born in McAllen, Texas. She was 20 years old there. There's my grandfather. I never saw him smile much, but he was a great guy. Herb Robinson and Mom. Now there's Frankie and that's us backstage at some venue. Actually, that's in Nashville because that's a lot of my family. That's Zoe Robinson and Beth Robinson, and that's Brenda Hammond. You see up there next to me is Lynn Hammond. Frankie in the middle, my sister Sherry and Cindy. Frankie in the middle, and there's my mom sitting next to him. There's my son Todd and his son Max and his daughter Tia, and there's little Jackson there, my arm around him. There's another backstage moment with Frankie and the gang. Frankie has always been so gracious, and he always had such a special place in his heart for Mom. He really had great respect for my mom. Rightfully so. And there's Frankie and Mom. There's me and Mom back in the day. There's Mom when we played back with the Four Tops in Las Vegas. She went all over the world seeing me perform again. Was such a great supporter of me. Look at that. I'm wearing one of those caps, even back in those days. That's down in Texas, actually, where I was born. There's Mom. There she is in the studio. She was better than me. There she is at the piano. She was my first piano teacher, as many of you know. She is with one of the concerts, the Robinson Brothers Homecoming Concert. That was 2017 right there. Now this is at the memorial service, which was not this past Saturday, but the week before. And those were all family members. My mom, there are about 100 now, descendants of Mom. That was counting spouses. There are 100 and that's not everybody, of course. Again, I would not be the musician that I am today. I would not be the person. Mom pointed me to music. She pointed me to Jesus. This picture always was meaningful to me because you see me playing, but you see Mom there watching me with that smile on her face. I know it gave her great joy to hear me play and to see the fruit of the music. There she is with her Jammin' Java cup in my studio in California. Now there's mom. I mean, she was an adventurer. This lady had her PhD in special education. After going back to school at age 40, went on and got her degree in, and there she is in Antarctica. She toured. She traveled the world and went. It was on all 7 continents. My buddy Terry Storr, who I got to see a couple weeks ago. Yes, we are very blessed to have a large family. Like I said, 100 people. So I'll be thinking about mom for the rest of my life, no question about it. And she's missed so much, and I'm so blessed to have had her. I think what we'll do is we'll go back to tour stuff a little bit. Oh, there she is with that. But so Lexington, Kentucky was last night. And here's a little clip from Lexington from last night. Somebody on here just said that they were there. Who was that? Richard. All right, so here is a clip from last night, Lexington, Kentucky, at the Rupp Arena.
To see someone cry, especially when someone is hurt. Silence is golden, but my eyes still see. Silence is golden, but my eyes still see. Talking is cheap, people follow like sheep. There is nowhere to go. How could she tell he deceived her somewhere? She'll be.
Again, one of those kind of quick exits on these video clips. But it is now it's 10 o'clock in Nashville, which means it's 8 o'clock in California, which means it's 11 o'clock in the East Coast. And you know what that means? It means that I need to go over here and push this button, if I can find the right button. Oh, I'm getting out of the groove, that's for sure. I got to get back into the groove here. Let's see here. How about right here?
Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Yeah.
All right, everybody, here she is, the Route 66 chick, Sherry Eicherjet. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Robbie. Good to
How's
see
it?
you back.
It's good to be back in the groove. You know, I was going to have to get back in the groove here, and let's see. Oh, Jennifer Green says hello, Sherry. So, what's going on in
Hi,
the world of
Jennifer.
Route 66 these days, young lady?
Well, a few things going on as usual. I thought that maybe I would be a tad bit self-serving this evening and talk about a podcast that I'm going to be on this coming Sunday morning to, if you can possibly guess, I'm going to be talking about Route 66.
Oh yeah. Well, I have a couple pictures. Are these here? Let's see. Well, there's Sherry. I could
Yes.
tell. Now, is this related to the podcast?
It is. That's my friend and colleague, Mr. Jim Hinckley from
Uh-huh.
Kingman, Arizona. And you can tell that kind of looks like Arizona.
It sure does.
Jim is a prolific author. He has written at least 20 books on the desert Southwest and or Route 66. And like me, he has written hundreds and hundreds of magazine articles.
Uh-huh.
And Jim doesn't always claim it, but I always try to give him credit. Jim was the person that originally had the idea for the Route 66 annual conference.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
By
So
the
we
way,
were
here you
trying to
notice I'm
figure out
flying
how-
my colors here. My Route
You're
66
flying
bug.
those colors. You are. So anyway, we tried to figure out how to get it started, and he said, he says, I can't think of a better place to kick off this conference
Uh-huh.
than to have the first one at the Wildy Theater in Edwardsville.
How perfect.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And so I just persevered, and that's where we got it started at. So anyway, Jim's been a dear friend ever since, and highly respected Route 66 expert around the world. So he has a really cool Sunday morning podcast. You know, these people that have live Facebook and YouTube shows and podcasts. Cool stuff.
Yeah, I've heard about
So
that.
Jim's is called, how about that? So Jim's is called Coffee with Jim, and it's on every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. So that's what
I
8
never
a.m.
get Mountain
Central
Time.
and-
Explain that to me here. So Mountain Time in Central, what does that mean? 7 a.m. Mountain.
Mountain time would be like New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and then Central Time is back here in our old hometowns.
So that would be 8 o'clock then Central Time, right? 6 o'clock
8
California.
o'clock Central Time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and six, I guess, in California.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm up on Sunday
Yeah.
mornings at 6, but I'm actually heading to church. But Wagon
There
Wheel
you go.
Motel, Coffee with Jim. That's
Yeah,
pretty
Coffee
cool.
with Jim.
And that's a
Oh,
live
that's pretty cool.
podcast.
It's a live podcast, and
Huh?
then it's available afterwards as well. So we'll be talking about the state of Route 66 and the upcoming centennial and the life of a writer, and we'll be talking a lot about Miles of Possibility, and one of my co-directors at Miles of Possibility from Bloomington Normal, Terry Ryburn, will also be on there with us. So
Awesome.
it'll be fun.
Awesome.
So
And
that's all I've got. Hey,
how do
Steve.
people see? How do people tune into this then?
That's a good idea. Let's see. There's a link on his website, and there's a
Uh-huh.
link on his Facebook page. Probably the easiest thing if you go to his website, and his website is jimhinckleysamerica.com.
Okay, let me type this in here as we speak. So it's
I
Jim.
should have sent that in.
Oh, that's
to
all
you.
good.
Jim,
How do you spell
J-I-M.
Hinckley? Yeah.
Hinckley is Hinckleyley.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Jim Hinckley's and an S on it, America.com.
America.com. Let's see if I got it right here.
Hinckley's America.com. That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, what's apostrophe there, right?
I don't think so.
We don't need
Anyway,
the dot at the
they'll
end.
find it.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll find it. So anyway, that'll be fun. We'll be talking about all the aspects of Miles of Possibilities. So it sounds like you may have a little bit more news tonight for the tour.
Well, we don't know for sure yet, but we're looking at. Well, here, let me go back to. No, I don't have this. So we're Tuesday night is going to be in Chicago. Wednesday night is in Bloomington. That's what we're planning on. But we don't have the venue yet, so I'm still negotiating with the Castle Theater. So we got to get that locked
Hey,
into the Castle.
yep, that would be great because that's where everybody's used to going up there, and I think that's a really great venue.
Yes, exactly. And so we're going to be talking this week. He's been out of town and this and that, so we're going to get that locked in sooner than later. Well, there's Jim, and
Good.
what's this? Oh, now what is this?
And well, that's one of his programs. That's his main program that he's offering at different events this year. And coincidentally, our theme at Miles of Possibility this year is the Great American Road Trip. And lo and behold, that is Jim Hinckley's emphasis this year, the Great American Road Trip. So he's one of our keynote speakers this year at Miles of Possibility. We always try to honor him each year because he had the original idea, and so he's either got perfect attendance or real close. He's usually there with us, so we always look forward to seeing him and him being part of the festivities.
And Terry Storr says the Castle Theater would be a good venue here, and so I think he's right. Yeah, it looks like a great place to have the concert.
Yes, that would be a great venue. So hopefully you and I think it's Rory, isn't that his name? Rory?
Yeah, Rory, and then I forget the other guy. There's another guy who's with Rory who books the acts and stuff. So I've talked to Rory and I've talked to this other. I can't remember. It's been a wild woolly week. A lot of irons in the fire here. So we're getting back in the groove here, though. One of the things too that on this tour thing, as a matter of fact, let you get in on this here. I'm going to put you here. Go to the old, bear with me a moment thing here. Oh gosh, I have to do this. Let me do this. Get you in there, Sherry, right there. Okay, now you're in the show. So, that's going to be October 19th. And as you know so well, we played at the Wiley. Well, I sat in with the Vanilla Fudge at the Wiley Theater. And you got us some cool video, and I've got some. Let's see if I've got that video here. Here's us playing shotgun. All right. So that was, of course, us doing Chuck. And I think you shot that video. Is that right?
I think so. I got a couple, I got some video clips during the evening, and I got one the whole time that you were on stage. So I think that was mine.
And you know what? And I see Vince Martell, who is the guitar player from Vanilla Fudge, is watching right now. And Vince, it is going to be so exciting to have you on this tour, man. I tell you what, and to be back at the Wildly. And I was on talking with Frankie today or the other day when we were on the plane and showing him videos of Vince and the Vanilla Fudge, and it's going to be such a cool thing. That whole week of doing those shows.
It's going to be so, so fun. And we're at Miles of Possibility. We're just waiting till the castle is confirmed. And then we'll be doing another separate press release from us, from Miles of Possibility, just about you guys being in Bloomington Normal and then the whole tour. So that'll go all over Illinois.
Awesome. I'm hoping, like I said, I want people, particularly, we need to get this Thursday night Wildly Theater sold out. We're over half sold now, but we're getting there. And I've got here's Vince. This is Vince Martell, for people who don't know, the legendary lead guitarist. Let me get you back into this as well, Sherry. I've got to do there you are.
It's a great pic of you, Vinny.
Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah, Vince Martell, Vinny Martell, the legendary lead guitarist from Vanilla Fudge. And let's do this. And here's some more pictures of you guys. Well, there's Mark Stein and Vinny, and I love their patriotism. There's guys back on Ed Sullivan. Look at you guys, man. You rock. Oh, Bob Sneed says he's going to be there. Awesome. There's on the Ed Sullivan Theater. There's those guys. The world by the tail there. And so that is going to be such an amazing night. Passing the word in St. Louis for the Route 66 venue. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Pete. Now, I've got it's not only going to be Vince Martell, who's going to do some Vanilla Fudge songs and some other things, and hopefully we're going to record one of the songs. We're going to go, get your motor running, Born to Be Wild, and Vince and I are going to get a chance to rock out on the organ and on the guitar on that. But we've got this guy, Travis Clower, who rocks the house. I'm going to play this little video for the people of Travis Clower, who's going to be singing. Besides Sarah Nimitz. So it's going to be so exciting to have Vince Martell, Travis Clower, Sarah Nimitz, and then I get to play organ with all these great superstars. So I am so excited. And then we've got a great bass player, Zeb Brekovich, and the drummer is going to be Miles Vanderveer. Both of these guys are two of the hottest musicians in the St. Louis area, and it's going to be super cool to do this. So We're getting ready, everybody. Get your tickets now. Chicago, Bloomington, Wiley Theater in Edwardsville, Illinois, and then we're working on the fourth venue, which we'll be able to announce hopefully next week.
So exciting. What a great week that's going to be. And I know that I'm going to be at least 2 shows. I
Exactly.
got my tickets second row at the Wildy.
Second
Of course,
row.
we'll see
Wow,
you
you
in
can throw
Bloomington normal
spitballs at.
Wednesday.
You can throw
Yeah.
things at us
Oh,
then.
yeah. I'll just be driving up and down 66 that week.
I guess so, yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go. We're going to move on to the next segment. Thanks so much, and I will see you next Monday night. Jam and Java, be there or be square. Thanks so much, Sherry Eicher Jet.
Thank you, Robbie. Good night.
Good night. Oh, Pete Lauscha says he's in the third row. All right. It's so going to be it's going to be such a cool night. And it's exciting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love going out there and doing Frankie Valli shows, and I've been doing it for 45 years. I'm going to be doing hopefully for another 45. But that one is going to be super cool because this is kind of out of the box and putting all these amazing musicians together. Let's go back to, as I was saying, we were on tour last night. We played at the Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. Now, if you know where that is right here. Well, there we are backstage. But let me go to here's the Rupp Arena. Check this out. That's the venue we played. That's where the basketball team plays. And they have big concerts. Paul McCartney's played there. Elton John has played there. Next week is Guns N' Roses. And we were there last night and had a fantastic show. Here's another clip from last night. There we go. So that was last night at the Rupp Arena, and then and my daughter was there, and some of my grandkids, and here, that's my grandson Ryan saying hi to Frankie. Of course, Frankie's known him since he was a little baby, and he's not a little baby anymore. And that's Ryan's girlfriend Taylor, and so that's backstage. And there's my daughter Lisa and Frankie. Who knows what they're talking about? And that's Terry, my daughter's friend, next to Frankie. And then that's my granddaughter Addison. Dominic says the Tremolos got rich off that. Yeah, I'll tell you the story about that song that we were playing, Silence is Golden. Bob Gaudio wrote that song, and the Four Seasons recorded it. And the record company, it was the flip side of Ragdoll, and but the record company didn't put it out as a single. It was the flip side of Ragdoll, and the Tremolos recorded it, the same arrangement, everything, and they had a big hit with it. So. Tremolos from England. You know what? And those guys came. The lead singer came backstage when we were back there last year, the year. I think. There we are backstage with some of my grandkids and me and my daughter. And that's Reagan, who's over here actually. That here. Hey guys, are you in there? Come here, Reagan and Jackson. But that's Reagan on the left. That's my grandson Jackson. That's my grandson Ryan. Third from the left. That's his girlfriend Taylor. That's my grandson Luke. And that's, come here guys. I'm showing them the picture. Here's Jackson. You have to bend down to get in the camera. There's Jackson. Come here, Reagan. Get on the camera here. See, how was it? Now, that's the first time you heard Frankie Valli last night, right?
Yes.
So, what did you think of the show?
It was awesome. It was great. I would
Did-
totally go again.
You would go again.
Oh,
Good. And that's Addison. Come here, Addison.
Yeah.
So now there, see right there. You have to get over a little bit. There we go. You see? You got to come in here. I'll slide over. There's Addison in the front row. You probably know Addison from singing, right? Because you sang on that song that we did. What was it? What's the name of that song?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what people say. Doesn't matter. I'm still gonna pray. Right? And there's Rupp Arena. That's where we were last night, right?
Yeah.
And then we drove back from. Oh, there we are backstage again with Frankie and the whole gang. After the show last night. Well, here's a little bit. Here's one more clip from the Rupp Arena last night, Lexington, Kentucky. By the way, that's where the basketball players play. The basketball team, Kentucky, University of Kentucky, I guess it is. Here we go. All right, so that was last night in Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah, Anna, yeah, All That Matters. I don't have that. I don't think that would be actually kind of a cool song to play. It's a song that I recorded with my grandkids and that we wrote together, actually, if I remember right. I think we did. Yeah, not a bad drive. It was 3 hours and change, I think, from Lexington to Nashville. So what else we got going on here? Have I not covered? The Robbie's Records thing, I mentioned we hit over 1 million views a few weeks ago on YouTube with Robbie's Records. Those are all of our releases so far. Will to Win was the last one. Oh, okay. Maybe we should play that one. I don't know if we'll be able to pull that off at the on the tour. Let's see here. Do I have Will to Win? Let's play that song. This is Sarah Nimitz and I wrote this along with perhaps his future Robbie's Records single. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that, Anna. We've got to fit that in. It'll probably be closer in the autumn. I think it's sort of a fall kind of a song. But as I mentioned, the next release is going to be, I think, next Monday, if I can get all the ducks in a row. And that's going to be our version of Knock 3 Times. But here's Will to Win. This is, no, hold it. This is not the last release. His Words was the last release. It's getting all, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get Travis Cloer into this thing because we did our Frankie-styled version of Sunday Kind of Love. Well, this is us. This is Travis and I in the church in Litchfield, Illinois. Check this out.
Saturday night, I went
So that was, as I said, that was Travis and I in my church, my home church in Litchfield, Illinois, replicating Sunday Kind of Love. And then here's Travis and I doing a version of the great hymn, Let Us Ever Walk with Jesus, in the style of Frankie Valli. Now, that hymn to me, let us ever walk with Jesus, it just smattered or just made me think of Walk Like a Man. So I had to kind of do it in the style of Walk Like a Man. Oh, yeah, by the way, and George will get the significance of that because, in Jersey Boys, Frankie and the guys break into a church and they sing Sunday Kind of Love. And so here is Travis and I. By the way, don't forget, Travis is going to be on the tour, the Get Your Kicks tour in Route 66. Here's Travis and I doing our version of Let Us Ever Walk with Jesus.
Oh, let us ever walk with Jesus. Let us ever walk with Jesus. Follow his example pure through a world that would deceive us and to sin our spirits lure. Onward in his footsteps trending, pilgrims hear our home above, full of faith and hope and love. Let us do the Father's bidding, faithful Lord, with me abide. I shall follow where you guide. Let us suffer here with Jesus and with patience bear our cross. Joy will follow all our sadness. Where he is, there is no loss. Though today we sow no laughter, we shall reach celestial joy. All discomforts that annoy shall give way to mirth hereafter. Jesus, here I share your woe. Help me there your joy to know. Ooh, let us also live with Jesus. He has risen from the dead, that to life we may awaken. Jesus, you are now our head. We are your own living members. Where you live, there we shall be. In your presence constantly, living there with you forever. Jesus, let me faithful be. Life eternal grant to me.
So that's a taste of, can you imagine Travis and Sarah singing together and the energy and the dynamics that they have? And then you put Vinnie Martell on lead guitar and vocals. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing tour. So get your tickets, everybody. Edwardsville, Illinois, Route 66. Let's see what else what else we got going on here. It's, well, I talked about Will to Win, and maybe we should play Will to Win. This is not the last release, but this is the one before, I think it was. And this is kind of a cool thing. Again, written by Andrea. Written by Sarah Nimitz and I. And, George says that lyrical content is beautiful and sure has the early Valley sound. Yes. Of all the Jersey Boys, of all of the guys who have been Frankie Valli in Jersey Boys, by the way, Travis played Frankie longer than any other singer actor who portrayed Frankie in Jersey Boys, longer than anybody. He was great in Jersey Boys. So bring that to Thousand Oaks. That show to Thousand. Oh, you know what? If this tour is successful in Illinois, then we'll be able to do it in other parts of the country, because Route 66 goes from Chicago to LA, of course. So, no further ado, let's see if I can find Will to Win here. Where the heck is it? Here it is. Will to Win.
Go to work before the sun is up, and don't return until the moon is in the sky. Every night, dreaming of the game. And when we're fighting just to stay alive, I know the spirit inside is gonna call my name, call my name. We count the time until the day arrives, and every moment I am closer to the prize. Alive, live the life I live. Never quit until we hit a wall, and anytime that we fall, we've got it over again. Put me in and let the game begin. I hear the music getting me to the goal relentlessly. Will to win, drive the dream in me, determined to begin your song of victory. I hear you in my heart, sing your melody, born to play this part with your will to win within me. I'm not afraid of rolling up my sleeves, to leave it all up on the beat and don't look back. Swing the bat with everything I have. I hear the sound as I hit the ball, flying over the wall. It's going, going, gone. I put my feet up on the solid ground. I hear the roar of the crowd cheer me on. As I run along, feel the wind blowing in my face as I'm running the race and headed home again. Oh, put me in and let the fun begin. I hear your music getting me to the goal relentlessly. Will
So that's Will to Win, of course. And but I just thought, you know what? In the context of this tour that we've got coming up, I think it'd be kind of cool for you to see. Now, you've seen Sarah perform in the videos, but I want you to see us doing a live thing. This is at Jam for Jesus a couple of years ago, and we did our version of the great song People Get Ready. And we'll probably do a version of this because Vanilla Fudge recorded People Get Ready as well. So with Sarah and everybody, this is us live. Live, no studio. Check this out. Welcome to our rehearsal, by the way.
Say something. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. If you're going through a time that's not so alright, then everything's gonna be alright. It might not be today, and it might not be tomorrow or the day after that. Or the day after that, but someday everything's gonna be alright. Now people get ready, there's a train coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the beat so humming. You don't no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. And it's not 'cause of something you did. It's not 'cause of something I did. It's 'cause of what you did. That it's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. There's a train coming. I'm ready. I don't need no ticket. hurt you. I think God likes piano. You don't need no ticket. I said you don't need no ticket.
Yeah, that was Jam for Jesus. And we're going to be taking it on the road. So there you have it. Let's do another Trinity. By the way, if you don't know, which I'm sure most of you do know, I am the minister of music at Trinity Lutheran Church, Simi Valley, California. And I'm looking forward to being back there the whole month now, because we don't have any concert. Our next concert's in the beginning of October. So that's going to be great. So I'm the minister of music at Trinity Lutheran Church, Simi Valley, and our services are at 9 a.m. California time, and they're broadcast in Litchfield over WSMI Radio. Oh, and that reminds me, too, I talked to John Michael Marty the other day, so I am going to be on WSMI Radio next Wednesday. I'll put out a social media. And for the next month, we are going to have, I'm going to be on 1 week, Sarah's going to be on another week on WSMI, Vinnie Martell's going to be on another week, and Travis Clore is going to be on another week as we head towards that Wiley Theater concert. But as I mentioned, I'm the music minister, and I'm going to be back in Simi Valley at church for the next few Sundays, 5 Sundays, I think, in a row, which is great. And here is a taste of the Trinity Lutheran praise team. And this is a song that I wrote, kind of got some Frankie Valli style in it. It's called Remember Who.
Remember who? Remember who? Remember who? God's one and only Son. Remember who? My Savior, Holy One. Remember Jesus, because He remembers you. Remember who loves all the world so much. Remember who
And if I can leave you with any thought at all tonight, it is that thought. Remember Jesus, because he remembers you. And he's got your back. He's got your front. He's the antidote for all of your problems. He's got perfect peace for each one of us, the peace that passes all understanding. Thanks so much for spending time with me tonight at Jam and Java. Thank you so much for the kind words about my mom and the thoughts, words, prayers, condolences, the sympathies. It means so much. And I look forward to seeing you all next Monday night, Jam and Java. Be there or be square. God's big blessings to each and every one of you. Thanks so much. God's big blessing. Good night.
I've been alive forever, yeah. And I